This video is not meant for children and is brought to you by support from Patreon. Hello, and welcome back. I am Maester Aelix, and this is Stellaris Empires. And before we get on going today, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in, and if you are enjoying this series, please remember to hit that thumbs up button, and maybe even subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Now, let's get going. Alright, today is a very special one, Riftworld. This is a really interesting and not terribly complex, but fun little side adventure empire. So, let's go get into it. Appearance. When I saw this brain slug looking guy, I knew I had to do something special. And extra dimensional stuff through rifts? Yes, please. So, this is a molluscoid one down here, and I hope everyone has a chance to use it because this is one of those times where the animation really helps. And it's almost like cell drawn, and it looks so good and so different from everything else. And being so different from everything else is this guy's jam. Alright, the species empire name is Harkin, or the Harkai, or the Harkin. Now, I will admit, my good friend who has this name, Harkin, plays this game a lot, and I really appreciate him because he's one of those people that got me to play this game in the first place. So I thought I'd honor him by giving an empire name, and while I may not always know what he likes, I figured he'd appreciate this one just for the sheer audacity of it. So, Mr. Harkin, this one's literally for you. Alright, moving on. We have the Molluscoid 4. Mostly from the fleet names, but the ship names are also quite nice. Otherwise, any of the Molluscoid names would work, but I really like 4 for these guys. Now, let's get into some crunchy traits. Alright. So, for this origin, we're really going to want to focus on physics. So, natural physicists, intelligent. I went with slow breeders because that'll help us in the long run with Empire Sprawl, which, reduces research size. So, while we do want more researchers, there comes to a point where there's too many cooks in the kitchen, and this will help slow that down. And talented. Leader upkeep minus 10% awesome. Leader maximum negative traits minus 1 also awesome. Because we're going to want good leaders to help us with our research and other things. We're going to need a lot of good scientists out there exploring. Alright. I went with the frozen world of Alpine, because it looks so good, especially with the molluscoid cities. You could barely see them because it blends in so well. The homeworld name is Tam, the Slade, the star name is Tam, and yeah, if you know Harkin, you know these names. Random Trinary 1, because why not? To me, the Trinary feels more rife for having gravity things, and rifts there in reality for it, and 3-body problem. City appearance, we went with Molluscoid City and Room 10. The reason why I went with Room 10 is because it's this clean slate, a little bit of orange, but it's a big observational window with like a data thing on it, and for people who are watching for rifts, I think having this data on your glass is really, really smart. Alright, Riftworld origin. A massive rift in space and time looms near the civilization's homeworld. After studying the phenomenon for millennia, recent advances in starship technology will allow them to finally reach out and discover what secrets it may hold. The homeworld is an ancient crater archaeological site. Chance for astral rifts appear in systems you control 100% of the time. Astral rift exploration speed is up 25%, and astral rift fail probability is minus 50%. So yeah, 100% rift worlds 100% of the time, which is why we want all that physics research. Alright, so being that we're focusing on rifts, I wanted dimensional worship, which requires spiritualist and does not have death cult. So I went with Fanatic Spiritualist because more unity, good. Edict's upkeep, good. And Edict cost down, good. So a lot of good traits here. Also gets us dimensional worship. This society believes that it has a divine existence that lies beyond the folds of space and time. Systems where instabilities are high hold a sacred meaning to them as sites of both pilgrimage and research. It allows us to build a dimensional shrine starbase building in systems containing a wormhole, an astral scar, an astral rift, or an L gate, or a shroud tunnel. Each dimensional shrine provides 10 unity. Yes, yes, yes. Monthly astral threads are up 25%. Chance for astroliths to appear in systems that you control up 100%, which is now 200%. Rare technologies will now appear at 1.1 times normal rate. This effect would change to a 1% chance to a 1.1% chance, which means we're going to want the Ascension perk that gives us more rare technologies as well, because that just leans into it. And each priest also provides plus 0.2 physics, which is great. More physics. That's what we want. And then I also went into hyperspace speciality. This society has always embraced speed. Manipulation of hyperspace is just another thoroughfare, and those with aptitude in the field have risen to the highest caste. Hyperspace breach points is guaranteed research option, has low intel on all systems within 3 hyperlanes of your starting system. Our planetary sensor range is +2. Our sublight speed is +10, which really helps with the early explorations phase. And research speed in physics is +15%. We are all physics all the time. And this council position, each hyperlane register starbase building also provides +1 stability. So, our starbases can really be great, because we can, later on, when we need more stability, we can switch to this one, and that's instant stability. This is a really good build, and you can see where we focus. And since we can't do the materialist research speed, because we're doing spiritualist, the monthly unity will help us out with our traditions. I also went with authoritarian for monthly influence and worker pop resource output. Since we're focusing a lot on research, our workers are really going to need to work hard as well, because we're going to want to focus on research. So this sometimes can leave fewer workers doing fewer things, so their output being up 5% helps with that. And I went Imperial, largely because I don't want to have to deal with elections. I do not know why that bothers me so much, but yeah. Either way, resources from jobs is up 10% in our capital system. Empire, leader pool size is down 1%, but we also get better leaders from our traits. And our ruler has a max influence power from power protection plus 0.25%. And our edicts fund is +5%. So, yeah, our edicts being less expensive and the fund being higher and their cost being lower means we can really run a lot of edicts, which can really save us. And that also helps with the the unity cost for edicts, which is great. Advisor voice, I went with the Technocrat based on what they do because it's so much science.
No great advance is made without great sacrifice.
And I really like that voice. It is a really good voice. And it's almost soothing, but not quite. Alright. Our empire name is the United Harken State because why not? It sounds good. Alright, our flag, this was one of those times where I saw this new shape and I went, oh, what can we fit in there? And I found this beautiful one down in Toxoid. I don't know why it's a Toxoid shape, but the two fit together like a hand in glove. And I figure this is like a Rift observation post kind of looking thing. And, you know, I don't know why I stuck with it, but I like it. It just, I don't know. Hand in glove thing, I guess. Ship ruler, ship appearance, we have molluscoids again. And with that black and white color scheme we picked up from the flag, this looks really, really sharp. Those big black areas look so nice. And, yeah, Ah, construction ship is so nice. I love the sweeping lines, and for someone who watches The Void with religion, I imagine the sweeping ornamentation of these things just fits, in my opinion. All right, ruler appearance. I went with Kif Slipway, and that just sounds good to my ear. We have the Ascendants. Color variant, I went with 9 because it is the one that just stands out the most bold because it's the whitest. And that little bit of blue in there really looks good. And closing 3 of 5, that one's more, I mean, I could go 2, but the 3 just has that little bit of glow to it that I really, really enjoy. And for those audiophiles who like to know what we sound like, here's how we sound. Yeah, I know, right? And ruler trait, I went with a scientist leader class and a spark of genius. By going with a scientist leader class, we'll also have an extra scientist floating around at the start of the game to help us explore. And speaking of the start of the game, let's go start one and I can show you how to start off strong. For as long as we can remember, the Great Rift has loomed in the skies above Slade. Legends propose that our past intimately entwined with this mysterious celestial scar on an ancient impact site near our capital. For generations, the site was revered, but little understood. However, recent seismic activities has uncovered surface anomalies on the crater. Preparations are already underway to drill into its core. Options remain divided on what we may uncover there. Is it a simple coincidence that this has occurred at the advance of hyperdrive technology? As we reach for the heavens, our attention is pulled back to the ground. Perhaps what lies beneath the surface of this world is meant to aid us in our journey to the stars. Perhaps it can prepare us for whatever lies beyond the rift. Seismic anomaly detected. Recent seismic activity has revealed unexpected feature of this ancient impact site near our capital. This specific crater has been linked to our very origin as Harkai. So, yes, we start off with a new astral action already available. Now, we haven't completed any astral rifts, and don't have enough threads to use it. But the fact that it's available at the very start is great. Plus, we're already gaining 3 a month, or 3.5 a month, so keep that in mind. Alright, so physics research, up to you what you want to do, but I do want to kind of unlock the transit hub and hyperdrive 2s that will help us explore faster. Plus we have available to us at the start. The rest, it's kind of up to you what you want to do. Alright, now we got enough unity for our first tradition. And I'm, of course, going to go with discovery. These guys are science nerds. We want the extra science. And the extra exploration will help. Plus, this eventually leads us to people who can do rift stuff faster. Alright, now that I have a second science ship, I'm going to have them go after the archaeological site. It is a difficulty 1, so it shouldn't be that terribly hard to get, especially at the start of the game. Alright, we just finished Discovery, and we're going to want to get these Ascension perks, and I'm going to lead towards Technological Ascendancy. The research speed is nice, and now the rare technology is even higher than before, so we're really going to lean into the rare technologies on this one. Now we have enough astral threads that we can actually use this, and gain Physics Insight. Monthly Physics Insight is up 10% for the next 5 years. Again, physics is everything, and we will be having this, and it'll be great. Alright, now I'm back. We finished our second tradition. I went with Harmony, because I think it goes well with spiritualism. And we have so many things happening. Anyway, for a second Ascension perk, because these guys are science-based, enigmatic engineering is really nice. We can also steal technology for people who are ahead of us in some way or another. But there are other really good ones. Consecrated Worlds lets us get more unity, but we're doing pretty okay on that front. But there are some planets around here that are not terribly well habitable, like this one. Alright, so now that we've gone through all this astral stuff, we were able to go into the Astral Rift and properly explore it. There's some really good story there, and you definitely want to give that a read, so I'm not going to spoil that for you. But just so you know, as Astral Actions, we get this new one, Astral Siphon, and Astral Splitting, which just 4 times in the game, we can just create an Astral Rift in one of our controlled systems. This is great, and we have all these other things to look forward to, and just keep going into those Astral Rifts, keep getting yourself those extra bonuses, and enjoy the game. This is a really interesting group, and it dips into things, and keep in mind any place that has an Astral Rift already, or an L-Gate, or any of those other things, are places you definitely want to pick up. And with that being said, here's where I'm going to say thank you all for joining me. I really hope you're enjoying this series as much as I'm enjoying making it for all of you. If you do, you know what to do, and that's to like, comment, watch 7 or 8 more of these videos to show that you really like it, and of course subscribe. It's a little click for you, but a really big deal for me, and I greatly appreciate everyone who does. And speaking of everyone I appreciate, here's a list of my patrons over on Patreon. And I'd like to give a special shout out to all my patrons who help make these videos possible. Aaron Smith, Brian Pelfrey, Chris Armstrong, Dennis Detman, Harry Thompson, and Mark Milius. Thank you all so much for your contributions. I wouldn't have this channel without you. Thank you very much.